Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I need to turn my speaker up. Okay. Um, I have to open up a couple windows and I'll be ready. Let me get the list. Okay. Okay, hello. You should hear me and you should be able to see the desktop. I'm sharing my desktop. I'll be showing you how, the class will be run by me showing you my desktop where I'll be running Java programs and we'll be talking about Java programs as we go along. So you should see my desktop right now, and it's showing you the web page for this course. This course, rather than using Brightspace for all the course material, I use a website. So on Brightspace, you have a link to this website. The front page of the website looks like this. I mean, you probably use one of these links. This is the link to today's class. And this will be this link will work for all the classes all semester. And this link here is for office hours. This afternoon, I have office hours. So this link here will let you join the office hours when we have those at 2:30 this afternoon. If you want to come to office hour and ask a question or so. Okay. So uh, let's see. So this is the Java course, and we're going to be using. Okay, well, first, what we're going to do today is first start off by going over the syllabus, and then we'll go over how you can put Java on your computer at home, because Java is a programming language, and you need the Java system on your computer at home to be able to do Java programming assignments and to do the examples that we work on in class. Okay, so I'll show you how to install a little bit of software on your computer at home. I'll show you where the textbooks are. The textbooks are available over the internet. You don't have to buy them. They're freely available books that are on the internet. So we'll look at those, and we'll start talking about the first homework assignment. You know, there's already a first homework assignment, and it's actually the homework assignment is for you to get Java on your computer at home. The homework assignment is for you. It's due a week from today, and the homework assignment is for you to get Java working on your computer at home. Okay, and this is we're going to meet like this throughout the whole semester as Zoom meetings. I don't think that'll change during the semester, so probably the whole semester will be done using Zoom meetings. I don't see you, and I'll do the Zoom meeting using the desktop all the time because there's so much. The main thing we need to do is talk about Java programs, and the easiest way to do that is to use the desktop for you to see me running Java programs. Now, since I don't see you, if you have a question, uh, I just tell everybody to interrupt me. If you have a question, the easiest way to ask a question is just to interrupt. Just say, "Can I ask a question?" or just say something to stop me, and that's okay. That's fine with me. If you have a question, if I said something you don't understand, or if you think you see something that's a funny, or you just please just interrupt to ask questions. Unmute yourself if you're muted, and just ask a question. So because I can't see you raise a hand. Yeah, there is a little raise hand thing in Zoom, but it's not on. See, since I'm looking at my desktop, I have a second monitor. So like the chat window and the little thing that shows me if you raised a hand, they're all on a second monitor that's off to the side, and I don't really see it. I mean, I don't. I look over there every once in a while, but if you really want to get my attention, just unmute yourself and just ask a question. Okay, so let's start by talking about the syllabus for the course. Okay, so over here is a link to the course syllabus. So here's the course syllabus, right? And here's links to the two textbooks we're going to use. Okay, so they look like this. Here's the first textbook. Okay, we're going to cover the first about 12 chapters of this book. So we're going to cover chapters 11 through 12. And then here's a link to the other textbook. Okay. And in this text, we're going to cover about the first 7 chapters. And the order of the chapters is very similar in a book. So they complement each other. I think they were actually written together. So they have the same order of chapters pretty much, and they complement each other. So what we'll do is we'll start with chapter 1. Actually, the first reading is chapter 1 of this book, and then we'll go to chapter 1 of this book. and then we'll go back to chapter 2 of this book, and then go to chapter 2 of this book, and we'll kind of alternate between them. Okay. The advantage of this book is it has lots of homework problems. You will see this book is interactive. When you're reading this book, it has lots of programming little exercises and homework problems built into it that you can do while you're reading the book. So as you're reading the book, it's got programs and it's asking you to do homework exercises, like in a math book where they ask you to do homework problems while you're reading. This thing has you do homework problems right up on the website. So this book has lots of check your understanding, lots of little questions that you can answer. So that's one big advantage of this book. This book also has a little bit of that, but not as much. This book has a little bit of, find an example. Here's an example where you can, that's a window where you can write Java program and run it and try it out. Okay, so the books are actually, that's one reason why they're on the internet. They're actually interactive books. The books let you run Java programs and experiment with Java programs as you're reading them. This one has a little bit of that, and this book has quite a bit of it. Okay, so those are the two textbooks, and like I say, we'll be reading them essentially in parallel. We'll be jumping back and forth between the two books. Okay, and then here's more links to the job in the syllabus. There's another link to the course meeting and the office hours. And then here's what we're going to do in the semester. We're going to have a bunch of programming assignments. Every 2 weeks or so, you'll have a homework assignment you turn in, written in Java, and they're going to be worth half of your grade. And then there's going to be two exams, two exams during the semester that are each worth 15% of your grade. And then during final exam week, there'll be a third exam. The final exam will cover the whole semester. So there'll be 2 exams during the semester and a final exam during final exam week. And we'll say a lot more about the exams when we get to them. But the exams, you'll take them at home. The exams will be done. Essentially, you'll be downloading the exams from Brightspace, writing the exams, and then turning them back into Brightspace. So the exams are going to be done by you at home. You'll work on the exam on your computer at home, and when you're done writing your exam, you'll turn it in Brightspace. And we'll say a lot more about that when we get to the first exam. So here's the tentative dates. If nothing goes wrong, if there's no cancellations or anything, here's the tentative dates for the exam. The first one will be middle of February. Okay, so when we get close to the exam, there'll be I'll give you review material, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to know for the exam, like which sections of the book the exam is over, and there'll be example problems that you can look at to give you a sense of what the exam is going to be like. And we'll do that a week or so before the exam. We'll say a lot more about what the exam is going to be like. So in the middle of February, beginning of April, and then during final exam week. Okay, all right, and then this little bit. This paragraph describes the rules of the programming assignments. Okay, so the programming assignments are for each person to do by themselves. The programming assignments are where you actually learn the material. The programming assignments are very important in a programming class. The programming assignments are really important. Doing them on your own really forces you to think hard about what we're talking about, and so doing the homework assignments on your own is really important. They're due. They all have a due date, and the due date's kind of flexible. But sometimes there is a due date, and I say here that I'll deduct points if they're late, and I usually don't. But the point of that is, if I don't have a due date, I will always have it every semester a student who turns in every one of the programming assignments the day before grades are due. Okay, and then they'll say, but you didn't tell us that they were due when they were due. Okay, so I have a due date, and the point of the due date is if you're way past the due date, I may not accept your assignments. So this is really the important one. This sentence here. Okay, so if you turn in an assignment more than 2 weeks late, I may or may not accept it for credit. Okay, so I'm trying to keep people on track. The key is to keep people on track. So if your assignment's a few days late, I'm not going to deduct points for it. Okay, but if your assignment's 2 weeks or more late, I may, depending on on your reasoning, I may just say that it's too late and I can't accept it. Okay, so you have to keep track. You have to keep up with the course. Okay, so every assignment has a due date, and the due date's kind of flexible in terms of, if you're a little bit late, I'm not going to take off points, but the due date is to give you a notice about when you should be getting things done, and how you should be on track with the course. Okay, and like I say, and if you try to turn in things too late, then I probably won't accept them. Okay, all right. So now the homework assignments, there's a page here for homework assignments. So here's a page on the website that has a link to this. There's already assignment 1 up there, and there'll be a bunch of other assignments up there later on. And see, this one is due a week from today. And if you click on this page, there's a description of the homework assignment. I'm not going to talk about it right now. We'll come back to this. And there's a zip file that you click on here that downloads the homework assignment. You'll need to download that zip file and unzip it. And there are some files in there that you need to do the homework assignment. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about the details in a minute. So you have to read this page, download the zip file, and as you read the page, you'll see what these files in the zip file are there for. Okay, so that's the first homework assignment. Okay, and we'll come back to that in a little while and see what's there. Okay, now that's pretty much the rest of the syllabus is standard university boilerplate. So it describes, please read the whole, it's going to be the same as most of your other syllabuses. So the rest of what's in the syllabus is probably the same content you have in all your other syllabuses, because we're asked to put this stuff in the syllabus. Okay, so the stuff that's pertinent to this class is the part that's from here up. Okay, now let me stop here and say, does anybody have any question about the syllabus of the course? Is there anything about the syllabus or about how the course is going to run? Does anybody have any question about the mechanics of the class or anything like that so far?
I don't know if you said this already, but I was just curious. Will participation impact our grade at all? Like attendance, I'm meaning.
No. Well, directly, no. Indirectly, yes. Yeah, attendance is important. We talk a lot about this stuff. I show you lots of things while we're in class, lots of things that are, I try to explain things. So attendance helps, but I don't take attendance. Well, I take attendance in the first couple weeks because that's actually mandated by the university. So the first 2 weeks of class, actually, I'm supposed to take attendance for the first 2 weeks to keep track that everyone's showing up. And that's actually a university rule. I'm supposed to take attendance for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, attendance doesn't affect your grade, okay? But it's just useful, I think. Okay. Now, all the lectures are being videotaped. Like this is being videotaped right now, and not videotaped. Well, record. The Zoom is recording the meeting, and I'll put that up. This front page where we here, this link here after class will turn to a link of the video. Okay. So this is the invite link to today's class. And then after class, I'll upload the video to YouTube, and this will turn into a link to the video. Okay, so then you can click on that link to review the video of what we talked about today. Okay, so if you miss a class, you can watch the video for it. Okay, so that link there will change from an invite link to the Zoom meeting to a link to where you can download or you can a link to YouTube where you can watch the course video. Okay. Hey, other questions about the class, about the syllabus? Anything?
I had a question about the Dr. Java. When I went to put it on the computer, when I clicked on the zip file, it kept saying 404 error.
Yeah, I think there was a typo, and I fixed that this morning. Yeah, that just got fixed a little while ago. So if you go back to it now, it should be okay. You might have to reload the page. This little button here that says reload a page. See, I fixed a typo in the page, so you might want to reload the page, and then you should be able to click on that link, and it should work okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, that was a typo that I fixed this morning. Okay. All right. Other questions? Anything else? And like I said earlier, if you have questions, I can't see your faces. I don't see you in front of me. So the best way to get attention is just to shout something out. So if you have a question, just please interrupt me and ask your question. Okay. All right. So now the course website has, well, there's this landing page where there's the link to the course, the Zoom meeting and the office hour. And then there's the syllabus we've talked about. There's the homework assignments, okay? Oh, on the homework assignment, there's 2 more links here. This link here is the instructions for how you should turn in your homework assignments. So you need to read this. I mean, you'll need to read this before you turn in your homework assignment a week from today. But please read these instructions. So these instructions tell you what, basically you're going to use Brightspace for turning in your homework assignment. That's the main thing we'll use Brightspace for, is when you turn in a homework assignment, you'll turn it in using Brightspace, okay? Okay, so so there's the instructions on how to turn in homework assignments. And then when we talk about the first homework assignment, we'll go back and talk a little bit more about this, and you'll have to read these instructions. They'll be more pertinent to you when you feel that you're ready, when you're done with the first homework assignment, then you'll want to look at these instructions. Okay, and that's linked to from this page on the homework assignment page. Okay, so there's the link on turning in your assignments. Okay, now there's one other page on the website that's real important. This page here that says lectures and reading. This is the page that describes this is our this is essentially like the daily calendar. This describes what we're going to do each day. There'll be an entry for each day we meet, and there'll be the link to the Zoom meeting, and then later on that'll be replaced by a link to the YouTube video of the class. And this is where I'll tell you that there's a homework assignment available. This is where I'll give you the reading assignments. Okay, so for right now, there's a reading assignment to read chapter 1 and 2 of one of the textbooks. Okay, so there's a reading assignment. This is where you'll see the reading assignments. When there's a new homework assignment, it'll be announced here. Okay, so there's a link to the page where you can download the homework from. Okay, and this is where there'll be example Java programs as we go along. When there are examples that we do in class, I'll put links to them here. If there's an example somewhere else on if I want to link to some resource on the internet, they'll be linked to here. So this will be the page you go to check what we do each day. Okay, like right now it tells you to check that check that there's a homework assignment. This is the next thing we're going to do. This is a link to the page that shows you how to put Dr. Java and Java on your computer at home. Okay, and then here's a link to a little help page that explains a little bit about Dr. Java. Okay, so this is the program we're going to be using to write Java programs. So there's an explanation of how it works here. Okay, and then here's the reading assignment for this week, and then here's a little homework exercise. Okay, so sometimes I'll give you I'll put up here exercises that you should do for practice that aren't for homework to turn in or be graded. These are the homework assignments that you're going to be graded on. These are the homework assignments that are part of your, like in the syllabus, it says you have 50% of your grade is the programming assignments. That's the homework assignments that are linked to on this page. Okay, on this page here, I'll just tell you, do this assignment from the textbook. Okay, like this is telling you to do exercise 3 at the end of chapter 1. So if you click on this link and you go to the bottom of the page, at the end of the chapter, there's an exercise. Here's exercise 3. It's the end. It's like in a regular textbook. At the end of a chapter, there's some exercises. So I ask you to do this exercise here. It's actually a nice little exercise. It's a good little practice to get you thinking about Java. Okay, so that's an example of an exercise. That's one of the things I'll put in the daily entry for each class. If there's something there's some problems I think you should work on out of the textbook, I'll put a link to them here. Okay, and that's not for a grade. That's just something for you to do to help you think about Java and think about what we're reading about and talking about, so that's just a good way to practice what we're doing. Okay, so there'll be 1 or 2 of these probably each day. Something that says, here's a good problem from the textbook that you should try doing. Okay, all right. So this is the page you should check pretty often. Each day before class or after class, you should look at here and see what the reading assignment is. Make sure you know when there's a new homework assignment available, and check to see if there's any exercises that are suggested you do for working to keep up, to better understand what we're talking about. Okay. 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 So that's the course website. Next thing we'll do is to do the homework assignments, you need to have Java on your computer at home. So that's this page here. Okay, let me close a couple of these. Okay, so here's a page that tells you how to put Java on your computer at home. Okay, now some of you may have Java already on your computer at home. Most of you probably don't. So you have to install Java on your computer. The Java programming language has to be put on your computer. Okay, now this comes in two pieces. There's one piece called Dr. Java, and there's another piece called, it's actually from Amazon. It's called Amazon Corretto. This is the thing that's the actual Java programming language, and this is a tool that lets us use the Java programming language. This is a thing that's like Word. Word lets you write documents, and Dr. Java is something that lets us write Java programs. So it's a tool for writing Java programs. This is a tool for running Java programs. Okay, so this is a tool that's used. Even professional programmers use this this thing. This is something that's used by students. This is a tool meant for student use. So Dr. Java is a student-centered tool for writing Java programs. This is the actual Java programming language. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to follow these steps here. There's a few steps that you do to put Java on your computer at home. Okay, so the first step is to either click on this link to download the Windows version of Java, or this link to download the Mac version. So if you have a Windows computer, you click on this link, and if you click on the link, see, it just downloaded. Okay, and you have to pay attention to where it downloads. In my case, it downloads to my desktop. Your computer might be set up differently. You know, depending on what browser you're using and how your computer's set up, when you click on that link, it'll download this installer, but you have to pay attention to where it downloads to. Like in the case of, I'm using Chrome here. If I click on Show All, and then I click on Show in Folder, Chrome will show me where it downloaded to. But I'm downloading it to my desktop, so I know where I'm downloading to. I'm downloading things to my desktop. Okay. Then you'd need to double click on this. Now I can't show you double clicking on it because I already have it on my computer, and I can't install it again on my computer. So on my computer, it's already been installed. But you would just double click on this. I can show you. You'll get this setup wizard. Okay, and you step through. Just click next on all the steps. Now, see, I don't want to click on install, but notice that when you click on it, see that little shield? That shield says that you're going to be probably asked for a password. Depending on how your computer is set up, that shield says that you might be prompted to type in a password to do the install. You have to know what the password is of the computer you're working on. Okay, you're installing a program on your computer, so you need to know what. Now, not everybody's computer is set up to ask you for a password. Most Windows computers will ask you to type in a password, but not all of them will. Okay, so I'm not going to click on that button because I don't want to. That'll actually do the install on my computer. So I'll click cancel here. Okay, so, and on a Mac, it's similar. If you've downloaded the Mac version, it's similar. You download this, and then you double click on what you downloaded, and you just click on all the buttons that just say yes, yes, yes. You know, you don't change anything while you're installing it, and that'll put Java on your computer. On this Windows computer, I can show you it. What it does is, if you open your PC and you go to the C drive, and there's this folder called program files. Let's see if I'm well, yeah, here it is. See, it'll install this folder here. See, this is the folder it'll install. Okay, so it'll put something on the drive of your computer. So when you run this installer, it's going to put something, and you don't really need to know what it's doing to your computer. But later on, if you're a computer science major, later on you'll learn a lot of courses about how Windows operating systems work, and how more details about programming languages, and eventually you'll learn what an installer like this thing is doing. But for now, it's just like any other program you want to put on your computer. Just run the installer. Windows will take care of doing things the right way, and you'll have the Java programming language on your computer. Okay? All right, so that's step one. Then step two is you click on this link. This link is this is a zip file where I have put Dr. Java in a zip file for this class, and I've done I've made some little changes to Dr. Java. So instead of downloading Dr. Java from their website, you're downloading it from my website. Okay, I mean, if you click here, this is the website of the Dr. Java people. Okay, okay, but it's to make things a little bit easier. I created my own little version of Dr. Java, and so you click on this link, and that'll download another zip file. Okay, and this is something I put together. You're downloading this from my website at PNW. Okay, so download this zip file, unzip it, and then if you're on a Windows computer, you can delete the zip file. My computer's acting a little bit funny today. Notice that when I delete something, it just takes it takes quite a while for my computer to delete things. I think I need to reboot my computer. I haven't rebooted it in a couple of days. Okay, so you don't need the zip file. After you've unzipped it, you don't need the zip file. I'm going to cancel that for now. Okay, now what you need to do is take this file and cut it and paste it on your C drive. It should be on your C drive. Now I already have it on my C drive. See, I put it there. It works better if you move it there. You don't have to do this step, but it's better if you do. Put it on your C drive. Okay. So now you could leave it on your desktop if you want. It'll actually work okay, but I think it's better if you paste it onto your C drive. Okay. So either you can actually put this folder wherever you want, but I think it's better if you put it on your C drive. So that's where I have it on. And then inside of it is Dr. Java. This is actually the Dr. Java program here. Okay. So if you open this folder, inside of it is Dr. Java. Okay. And now, if you double click on this, you run Dr. Java. Dr. Java takes a few seconds to start up. Okay, this is what Dr. Java looks like. But I've made some changes to Dr. Java, and I don't want you to run it that way. Instead of double clicking on this thing to start Dr. Java, I want you to use this thing here that's got this little icon, this little gears icon. Double click on one of those two. Okay, so for example, if I double click on this, it takes a little while, it'll start Dr. Java, but it's going to look different. Okay, see, there's Dr. Java. This looks a little bit better. Okay, and this is what I did is I've added some colors to Dr. Java, and I configured it a little bit to use some software that we're going to use in this course. So I did some configuring of Dr. Java, and to use my version of Dr. Java with the nice colors, you need to double click on either this icon or that icon. Okay, now let me quit Dr. Java and start the other one. The other one's got a dark mode. You can see it says Dr. Java dark. Okay, so if I click on that, Dr. Java is a little bit slow to start up. See, it comes up in a kind of a dark mode. Okay, and this is kind of a funny thing about Dr. Java. See how that little spinning circle, that means that the program's not ready? Every once in a while, Dr. Java starts up stuck. See, right now it's stuck. I can't use the menus or anything like that. I don't know why this is happening. Students told me that it would happen every once in a while on their computers at home also. When it starts up stuck like that, just close it and start it again. It almost always starts up better the second time. I'm not sure quite what's going on. Dr. Java wasn't written for Windows 10. It was written for an earlier version of Windows. See, now it's okay. See, there's not that little spinning arrow. I think Dr. Java actually has some subtle problems with Windows 10. Okay, so it wasn't written for Windows 10, and the people who wrote Dr. Java are in the process of trying to update it. So I think that spinning circle is just kind of a quirk that Dr. Java has, I think, on Windows 10. So here's a dark mode of Dr. Java, if you like running programs in more of a dark mode. Okay, this is like a Word. It's a program where I can type things. You know, I can type things here. I'm actually, this is an editor. It's creating a document. Like right now, I can save what I've done, and it'll ask me to give a name to what I've done. So I'm going to just call this junk. Okay, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. Okay, I just created a file and saved it on my desktop. There's the junk file there. Okay, so this is an editor. It lets you create documents and save them on your computer. But our goal is to create not junk documents, but Java documents. Then I can close this one. Okay, and I can close Dr. Java. And I can delete this junk file. We don't need it. Okay, so after you've unzipped this folder, okay, you get this folder. Like I said before, copy that folder to your C drive. You don't have to. You can actually just leave it wherever you think is best. But I think it works better if you put it on your C drive. Okay, and then when you open it, start Dr. Java by either clicking on this icon or this icon, depending on whether you like it in a light mode or a dark mode. These other files are help files about Dr. Java. So if you double click on this, it's a PDF document. It's a little introduction to how Dr. Java works. Okay, this is, if you want to read this, you can. Everything you need to know about Dr. Java, I'll show you as we go along. We'll be using Dr. Java. So, but if you're curious about learning more about Dr. Java, you can read that, or there's another one. This is just a shorter introduction to Dr. Java. Okay, and then there is another one. This one is a longer explanation of Dr. Java. Okay, okay. So there's another introduction to Dr. Java. Okay. Okay. So these are just help files that explain a little bit about Dr. Java. So they're in the folder with the CS1. They're in the CS123 folder. None of those you don't need to read any of those, but if you want to, you can read them. Okay. All right. So the important thing is that's the Dr. Java program, but use these icons to start it rather than starting again. See, that's if I double click on that one. That's what Dr. Java looks like if you just download it from the internet and run it. That's what their version of Dr. Java looks like. And I thought it worked better if I made some changes to it to give it a little bit more color and make it look a little bit nicer. So if you wanted to have a little bit of color and look a little bit nicer, start Dr. Java with these two icons. Okay, and these two icons make use of what's in this folder here. This is what I wrote to make Dr. Java work a little bit nicer. See, I wrote these two things here. Someday, if you're interested in how computers work, you can look at these files. They're what are called configuration files. They tell Dr. Java what colors to use. Okay, so that's what I did. So that's why I want you to use this CS123 folder, because I took Dr. Java and I added a little bit to it to make it look nicer. Somebody have a question? Okay, I thought somebody may have a question. All right. So start Dr. Java using either this icon or that icon. Oh, and what I did is I made, you can copy, you can see if you, like here's my desktop of my computer. What I did is I dragged this and created a shortcut to there on my desktop. And I can create a shortcut to there. See, I drag that file to the desktop and then say create a shortcut. Then I can close this, and then there's my shortcut on my desktop to Dr. Java. There, see. So now I can run Dr. Java. I don't need to open that folder anymore. If you create a shortcut to Dr. Java on your desktop, you don't ever even need to reopen that folder again. The only thing you really need is the shortcut to Dr. Java. So there's the light version of Dr. Java, and there's a shortcut to the dark version of Dr. Java. Okay. Okay. Notice that Dr. Java takes a little while to start up. On your computer at home, it might be the same. Dr. Java is written in Java, and it takes a little bit of time for it to start up when you double click on it. Okay, that's a kind of a common feature of Java programs. They're slow to start. Later on you'll learn why that is, but Java programs have a bit of a notorious feature that they're a little bit slow to get started. Okay, so I'm going to close that. So I already had these links on my desktop. There's my links to my version of Dr. Java. So I can delete these. Okay, so after you go, so notice that we've just done steps 1 and step 2, and then steps 3 and 4 basically are the ones. Well, step 2 is to download the zip file. Step 3 is to extract the zip file. Step 4 is to copy it to your C drive, which you don't. You don't really have to do that step, but step 4 is basically telling you to copy it to your C drive. Okay, and then well, actually, let me show you one other thing. After you open Dr. Java, after you've copied it to your C drive, here's one way you can test that Dr. Java is working okay. I put a Dr. Java experiment file in there. Take this and drag it onto that icon. I'm going to use Dr. Java to open this Java document. See, this thing is a Java document. Okay, didn't work. So I drag this over to Dr. Java, and I use Dr. Java to open a Java program. Okay, this is the code for a Java program. We're going to learn how to write code like this. When you have the code for a Java program, to run it, you first have to click this compile button. Okay, so click this compile button. And what that did is it took the Java program and it translated it into another Java program called a class file. So it took this Java document. This is what we're going to be talking a lot about as we go along. But what Dr. Java did was it took this Java document and created this Java class file. The Java class file is the file that the computer can actually execute. Okay, and then after I do the compile step, I can click run, and this program is running. And what this program does is it creates a little window with a button on it. See this little window up here? That was created by this program. And when I click this button, see, you get the word ouch printed down here in Dr. Java's what's called the interactions window. So this program now is running in Java. Dr. Java is running this program, and the program creates this window with a button that you can click on. Okay, and that's Dr. Java. You should see this if Dr. Java is working, and well, Java and Dr. Java together. Dr. Java is using the version of Java that we installed with this installer. Okay, if you don't do this installer first, Dr. Java doesn't work. You have to do this installer first and follow it with installing Dr. Java. They have to be done in that order. So you have to install Java first, then download Dr. Java. Dr. Java is using this Amazon Corretto to run the Java program. Okay, and then so you can close the Java program, and then you can either open a Java program by dragging the Java file. See, this is a Java file to the Dr. Java window. So okay, and if you click the new button, you can create a new. See here, I just created a new file that's untitled, and here I can type stuff myself. Okay, so I'm creating a new document, and then I can save it to my computer. Here I can close the new document. I don't want to save it. Do you want to save it? I'll say no. Very similar to like using Word and PowerPoint and things like that. You can open documents. You can create new documents. You can close what you opened. Okay. So Dr. Java lets you open and close Java files. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to close Dr. Java. Now I'm just going to quit it. Okay. All right. And once you've got this working, if you create a shortcut to it on your desktop, then you'll probably never need to open that folder again during the course of the semester. There's other than reading these help files, The only thing that's in this folder that you really would ever need is if you wanted to read one of these help files, these explanations of Dr. Java. Otherwise, you can pretty much forget that this thing is there on your computer if you have a shortcut to it. Okay. All right. So now, if you're at home, some of you could try doing this while we're talking. These steps. I'm spending a lot of time explaining it. The actual, if you're just by yourself, go through these steps. They take about 5 minutes. You can do these steps in less than 5 minutes. So if you want, you can just go ahead and give that a try if you're on your computer at home. Download the installer. Download the installer. Run it. Download the zip file. Unzip it. Copy it to your C drive, and then try running Dr. Java. Okay. Okay. Oh, and here's one last step 5. This is actually a Windows step. Okay. Let me open this folder. Now I'm going to make a change in Windows. See if I can remember where it is. Okay. See if I click on. Okay. Here I opened a folder, and I clicked on View. If you look over here, see there's a little checkbox that says File Name Extensions. On almost everybody's Windows computer, that checkbox is unchecked. Notice how these file names all changed a little bit. Like, see these 2 files here? Notice that they have different icons. Well, they actually have different names. If you click this, you see that this one's got what we call an extension. It's got this .pdf at the end of its name. And this one doesn't have an extension. This one does have an extension. Okay. If you go down here, see Dr. Java has this .java extension. See, this one has a .cmd extension. If I uncheck this box, see how the extension went away. It's better to be able to see these extensions. For some reason, Microsoft has Windows set up so that this box is unchecked when you first get Windows. But it's a very, very common thing to tell people to check that box. The extensions are kind of important. Windows expects you to look at the icons. Okay, but notice that Java doesn't have an icon. This is an example of where the icons. Not every program has an icon, and when you get rid of when you hide the extensions, sometimes things get confusing because you don't know what kind of file it is because you don't have the extensions turned on. So turn on this extensions on your computer at home. That's this last step 5. I recommend that you, on your Windows computer, that you just have the extensions turned on. If you open a folder, you get to that by clicking the View tab. It doesn't matter what folder you do this to. You can do this with opening. So you can do this by opening My Computer and go to the View tab, and then check that box that says File Name Extensions. Okay, and then all the files on your computer, when you open a folder, the files will have these extensions visible. And if you uncheck that folder, see the extensions all kind of went away. Okay? And if you click that folder, so for example, that's the extension that on a Word document, it'll show you .docx. On a PowerPoint document, it'll show you .ppt. Okay, so these most people are used to seeing the icons, but once you start learning how to write programs for computers and you start working with multiple programming languages like Java and Python and C++, it helps a lot to see these file name extensions. All programmers have this thing turned on in their computer. That's probably one of the when you give a programmer a new computer, that's probably a Windows computer, that's probably the very first thing they'll do is turn on file name extensions. Okay, so that's the last step I put into this here, was I just suggested that you do that. Turn on the file name extensions. Okay. All right, let me clean up here. I don't need that folder anymore, and I don't need that folder anymore, and I don't need this this installer. When you're done with zip files, you can just delete them. When you're done with the installer, you can delete it. You don't need to keep them on your computer. Okay. All right. So that's the instructions for installing Dr. Java, well, Java and Dr. Java on your computer. So The version of Java we're using is this thing called Java 8. We're using Java 8. There are more recent versions of Java, but Dr. Java doesn't work with them. So Java 8 is the version that Dr. Java works with. So that's the version that we're going to use. The different versions of Java only become important when you get to more advanced courses. In a first course in Java, it doesn't matter which version of Java you use. From the point of view of a first course in Java, all the versions of Java look alike. The versions of Java are numbered. There's Java 8, Java 9, Java 10, Java 11. Okay, and it doesn't matter. But Dr. Java works with Java 8. So we're downloading. If you go back to these instructions, this was downloading Java 8. See, there's the 8 in the name, because Dr. Java works with Java 8. There's also version 11 of this Amazon Corretto. And if you go to the web page of the Amazon Corretto people, you see they have 8, 11, and 15. We're using 8. Okay, Dr. Java won't work with 11 or 15. Okay, so that's why I linked directly to them. So from your point of view, all you have to do is, if you're on a Windows machine, click on this link. If you're on a Mac, click on this link. Those link directly to the versions of Java that we're going to be using. Okay, all right, let's see. Anybody have any questions about these steps? Anybody try it? Anybody try it? Anybody get it working?
I got mine to work. I just want to double check. How do we do the dark mode again?
Oh, okay. If you open that folder, see, I got it already copied to my C drive. You open this folder, CS123, and there's two icons here, one that says dark and one that says light. You double click on those, and that starts Dr. Java in this dark mode.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. I have a Mac, and the CMD file, I don't think is the right extension for a Mac. Should I change that?
Yeah, on a Mac, things are going to, I don't have a Mac to play with, and that's a problem. I don't have a Mac that I can play with. These CMD files do not work on a Mac, so you can't double click on them. They can be converted to a Mac. I haven't done that yet. Probably we'll have to meet like in a Zoom meeting and together, and I think maybe I can get it working for you. Now, this file, you can just double click on it. This one should work. This one that runs Dr. Java without the light mode or the dark mode, it works on a Mac. So on a Mac, you can double click on that and get this version of Dr. Java, okay, without the fancy light mode and without the fancy dark mode. Okay, so that's what so if you click on that icon on your Mac, that should start up Dr. Java, okay?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, now, but it's kind of nice to get the light mode and dark mode working, and if maybe later on in a Zoom meeting, unfortunately, without having I don't have a Mac to try it on myself. But if we work together in a meeting and you share your desktop with me, we might be able to get these. We might be able to convert these things into something that works on a Mac. Okay.
Okay, cool. I'll stop by office hours.
Okay, and let's see. Okay. Anybody else give it a try? Anybody else run into a problem or anything? Okay. All right. So let's now turn to the homework assignment. Let's see. Let's turn to the first homework assignment. Okay. Now, in today's entry, it says, be sure to look at the homework assignment page for your first homework assignment. So you click on that, and there's the homework assignment page. There'll be an entry for each homework assignment. And then each homework assignment will have its own explanation page. Okay. So this is the page that describes the homework assignment. Every homework assignment will have a zip file that comes along with it. So download the zip file. I've already downloaded it and I unzipped it, so I can delete the zip file. Okay. In this folder is the homework assignment. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to write a Java program. And I gave you this is a Java document. See, it's got the Java extension. You want to open this document in Dr. Java. So I'm going to start up Dr. Java. Okay, so notice that Dr. Java is a little bit slow to get started. And then I'm going to drag this document over here, and open it. And this is essentially what we call an empty Java program. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to type Java code here, where line 9 is. You're going to type Java code, and you have to type Java code that prints this output here. Okay, see, now here's what it looks like. Java is a language for telling a computer what to do. The way where programming languages work is you write statements in these programming languages. So here's an example of a statement written in the Java language. Okay. System.out.println quote star 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 quote close parentheses semicolon. There's what we call a statement in the Java programming language. It's telling Java to print something. Okay, now what it's going to do, it's going to print it in this window down below. If I want to run this program, I compile it. Notice down here I got a window that says the compilation is complete. What that did is it created this file here. It translated my human readable Java program into a computer readable Java program. What this is a human readable Java program, and computer readable Java program. Okay, and the compile button tells Dr. Java and the Java system to translate what I can read into something I can't read. Then the run button tells it to run this machine read. It runs this thing on your CPU, your computer. It runs this one on your computer. And notice I get this little output here, my stars. See, if I go here and I make add more stars there, then now I've made a change to my Java program. See the star up here? That says that I changed my Java program. I save it. When I save it, that means I've written it to this thing here. You know, what was in this window, if I change what's in this window, right now the changes are in this window. They're not changed down here yet. See, this is where it's stored on my computer. This is a window of a program. This is what we call a file stored on your computer. The information in this window is only in this window right now. That's what this little star here is warning you, that the information here hasn't been transferred to the file yet. Before you can compile the program, you have to transfer it to the file, because the compile button compiles this guy. It doesn't compile what's in this window, it compiles what's saved over here. Okay, so if I save it, it's now, this information has been transferred over to here. Then I can compile it, and then I can run it. See, I get a different output. Okay, I can go make another change. Let me make another change here. Okay, now suppose now notice that I haven't saved it. See, I made a change here. The star here tells me that, you know, this version is the current version, but it's in Dr. Java. The information hasn't been sent by Dr. Java to this Java document on the computer. If I click the compile button, the compile button saved the file for me. Okay. Now, when you first install Dr. Java, it won't do that. It'll give you a little pop-up window saying, "Do you want me to save your file for you?" But there's a little checkbox that says, "Always do this," and you might want to just your version of Dr. Java might ask you, "Do you want to save the file?" And you click yes. Okay. So notice that if right now the way it works is when I click that, the file hasn't been saved, but Dr. Java can be told to save when you click the compile button. So when I click the compile button, it actually does two things. It'll transfer this stuff here over to here and then compile it. Oh, if I go over here and delete that file, see, when I compile, it gets recreated. Okay. If I delete this file, I'm in trouble. I lose my work. This file here is what you're going to eventually be turning in as your homework assignment. This is the Java document that you're writing in this Dr. Java window. And this file here is what you're going to be turning in as your homework assignment. Okay, so this file here is essentially like a temporary file. It's created by Java to run your program. Okay, And you can delete it. I mean, usually don't bother to, but if you did delete it, doesn't matter. You can just recreate it by hitting the compile button again. Okay. Now, if I delete this guy and I click the run button, I get an error message. See, there's nothing to run. See, the Java programming language is a two-step process. You have to take the human readable code and compile it into machine readable code. Then you can run the machine readable code. Okay. If you delete the machine readable code and try to run the program, Dr. Java says, I can't do that. You need to see, it says you need to recompile. You need to click the compile button again. Okay. All right. Now, your homework assignment is to create this output here. Okay. So the way you would do that is have a bunch of these print statements. Now, I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. So I'm going to copy and paste. Okay. And then I want the second line of this thing. To get the second line, I would indent that. Okay. There's something that looks like the second. Now, if I compile and run, see, I've told Java to do two things. Print out this, and then I've told it to print out this. So that's what it did down here. It printed out that first line of output, and then the second line. So I've got the first two lines here. Now, I don't know if I got the right number of stars there. If I want to be sure I have the right number of stars, here's the easiest thing to do. Go over here, highlight that. Just try to highlight. It's kind of hard to highlight these things in web pages. See if I can get it to highlight just the part I want. There. Right click, copy, go over here, highlight that, delete it, and then paste. Okay, there's the right number of stars. Okay, now you have the exact number of stars that were in this window here. Okay, and then I can do the next window down. So you just have to create this thing here. Okay, now I've got 3 lines of output. Compile, run. Okay, so your homework assignment is to finish doing this process of creating these statements that'll draw this picture. Okay, and the key really is that I want you to get Dr. Java working on your computer at home and do something really simple with Dr. Java, and then turn it in to me. Now, after you've got all the stuff that it will, after you've got there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of code here. So you'll have 7 lines of print statements here. After you've got them done and you've got the proper output showing down here, what I want you to do for the homework assignment is just take a screenshot of what you did. Okay, so that you can show me that you've got Dr. Java running and that you have the code in here and you have the output here. And before you take the screenshot, to make it your homework assignment, put your name up here and put your email address here. Okay, so put your name and your email address up in this. This is called a comment. The stuff that's between the /* and / is not part of a program. It's part of what we call a comment to the program. I want your name here because that makes sure I know who sent this to me. And I want your email address so that I can, a lot of times if I see a mistake in your code, I can just very quickly email something to you and tell you that I saw a mistake in your program. So I want you to put your email address up here. Now this is all explained in the course website. When you go to this homework page, and there's this thing about turning in your assignments, see, it tells you that there should be, at the beginning of your program, there should be this little block that says, well, here it says what course you're in, what your name is, your email address, and which homework assignment you're turning in. Okay. At the very least, you need your name and your email address. Okay. You need your name and your email address in your file here. Please make sure you put those in there. Okay. Put them in your, because otherwise I may have trouble knowing who turned in a homework assignment to me. Okay. So put your name and your email address into your homework assignment. Put all your put the code here that produces that picture that we want. Okay. Compile and run the program and get the proper output here. Then take a screenshot of the assignment. Okay. Now, here I give you a little bit of, if you've never taken a screenshot, there's a little bit of a explanation of what to do to take a screenshot. There's a key on your keyboard that says something to the effect of print screen. Everybody's laptop has this thing printed slightly different. Like here it says PRTSCN. On my laptop, it's actually spelled PRTSC. Okay, it can be spelled slightly different on different people's computer, but you hold down the to get a screenshot of Dr. Java, you hold down the Alt key on the keyboard and the print screen key on the keyboard. Okay, so I just did that right now. I held down the Alt key and I tapped the print screen. Then go over here to the Windows menu and type Paint. And that starts a program where you can save screenshots. Okay, now if I go here and I paste, see, there's the screenshot I just took of Dr. Java. See, there's my Dr. Java program, and there's my screenshot of the Dr. Java program, showing my code that I typed, my name. Okay. Then if I go over here, File, Save, I can save this on my desktop. And I want you to save it as Homework 1. Okay. So I saved it as Homework 1. Pardon me?
What did you press besides the did you press Alt or Control?
Alt. The key, it's usually next to the space key, ALT. If you tap, okay, let me show you the difference. I'm going to do another screenshot. So I'm going to close Paint. Okay, I'm going to go here to Dr. Java, and I'm going to do, now this time I'm going to tap just the print screen key. I'm not going to hold down the Alt key. So I'm going to tap print screen. If you listen carefully, you might hear me on the keyboard. I'm going to tap it. So I tap the print screen key, and I go here, Paint. And I start Paint. Now I'm going to paste. Now, the print screen key takes a screenshot of your whole desktop. See how it took a screenshot of my whole desktop? That's usually not what you want. Okay, so the print screen key by itself takes a screenshot of your entire desktop. If you hold down the Alt key before you tap the print screen key, it takes a screenshot. Like here, I'm going to take a screenshot of this window. See, I'm clicking on that window. I hold down the Alt key and I tap the print screen key. Now I'm going to start Paint again. Now if I paste, see, there was a screenshot of that Homework 1 folder. Okay, so I've got a screenshot of that folder, which isn't very useful to me, but the Alt print screen key combination takes a screenshot of whatever is the front window on your desktop. Like right now, this is the front window. Now, right now, this is the front window. So if I hold down the Alt key and tap print screen, now I just took a screenshot of this window. And if I paste it into Paint, see that there's a screenshot of just the Dr. Java window.
What is the print screen key? Where is it?
What?
How does the print screen key, like how does the print screen key look? Like which key is it?
On my computer, it's unfortunately different laptops. The key can be almost anywhere. On my laptop, it's right next to the Alt key. The Alt key is next to the space key, and the print screen key is right next to Alt. And it's usually something to the effect of PRT SCN. Sometimes it's on the keypad on the right-hand side of the laptop. Sometimes it's on the right-hand side over where the keypad is. In my case, it's on the bottom row next to the space bar.
I found it. It's at the top.
Yeah. What's the letters on it on your laptop?
PRTSC.
Yeah, and that's what mine is. Yeah, PRTSC, and sometimes it's also. I've seen it write out the whole word print. Some laptops will actually say print screen all written out on the key. Okay, right. So for us to take a screenshot of just the Dr. Java window, hold down the Alt key and then tap the print key. Now, one thing this is real useful for is if you have if something's not working on your computer and you get a weird error message, let me get a weird error message. So for example, if I goof up something here and I compile, I get error message. See, error, okay? If you want to show me your error message, that's what print screen's real good for. You could, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I could go to Paint, paste the screenshot, okay, and then I can save it. Okay, and then you can attach that to an email message. You can attach where did I save it to? Oh, it's saved in this folder here. Okay. But you could send me a screenshot of the error message and say, what did I do wrong? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, would you be okay with us just snipping?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, snip. If you
Okay.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable doing things different ways, that's fine. I'm going
Okay,
through
I
all
just want to make
the
sure.
details just in case somebody has never done something like a screenshot before.
Okay.
So you can use a snip tool. You can use. This is kind of the crude way of doing it, but it's kind of the easiest way to explain. Okay, so yeah, anything. Not if you have a question, taking a picture of the problem can be a good way to ask a question. Now, this is a good way to ask a question about an error message. If you have a question about your program, don't send me a screenshot of your program. If you have a question about your actual program, send me your program. Attach that program to an email message. Okay? So you can attach this Java file to an email message. So if you have a question about a problem in your code, send me the Java document in an email message. But if you have a weird error message showing up on your screen, then you can't send me the error message. So then you'd want to take a screenshot of the error message. So screenshots are really good for showing me, this is the error message I got and I don't understand it. And then I can look at the picture and see what probably, and get a sense of what went wrong. But if you have a question about, I'm trying to solve this problem and I wrote this code and it doesn't seem to be working right, don't take a screenshot of your code. Send me the code itself. Send me the Java document. Yeah. So you can attach a screenshot to an email message. You can attach a Java file to an email message, okay? Now, when you've got the Java document finished and you've got your screenshot of the completed program, okay, you're going to send them to me as a zip file. Well, not you're going to send them to me. You're going to upload them to Brightspace as a zip file. So here's what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to delete this guy because I don't need him. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this guy because I don't need him. And I'm going to delete this guy because I don't need him. So here's what I want to submit as my finished homework assignment. I've finished this file here. You know, it's been completed, and I've got my screenshot of it. Okay. So now I'm going to do what's called zip. See, I want to see this file and I want to see this file, but I don't want you to send me two things. I want you to send me one thing. What we call that one thing is a zip file. Okay, you notice that you've been downloading zip files on the website. I had you download zip files. Okay. Now, actually, I should have stopped and asked people, is everybody comfortable with what a zip file is? See, a zip file, if I go back over here and I click on this, a zip file is a way to take several files and bundle them together, to zip them up. See, Windows even shows this as a little zipper icon. What's inside there is several files zipped into one file. Now, if you double click on this, you see that there's actually 3 files inside there. Okay. Now, here's something that's true about Windows that you have to be real careful about. I'm going to close all these windows here. Here's a zip file, and here's a folder. If I open the zip, if I double click on the zip file, it opens it. And if I double click on the folder, it opens it. Now, these 2 windows look a lot alike, but they're this is a really dumb mistake on Windows' part. And this is going to trip up, it trips up a lot of people. Again, this is a zip file, this is a folder. If I double click on the zip file, I see what's inside of it. If I double click on the folder, I see what's inside of it. They kind of look the same. Notice that the color up here is pink and the color up here is yellow. You can't work with this file. When you open a zip file, you can't work with this. Like, you can't drag that thing to Dr. Java. It won't work. Okay. You actually you should unzip files before you should unzip them before you do anything with them. Windows makes it look like you can just double click on a zip file and work with it. And actually, you'll get all kinds of weird error messages if you try to do that. Like, notice that this worked okay. If I double click on that thing, I see the picture. Okay. But not everything works right. Like, I don't know if I can drag this to Dr. Java. It did. It opened up. Oh, see, but it's not. I can't save my work now. This is all messed up. If I did my homework assignment here and I thought I was done, I'd be in real trouble. See this thing up here? That tells you where this file is right now. This file is in a weird hidden folder on my C drive. See, C users classroom app data local temp homework 1. I'm not editing that file there. This is real subtle. Okay, I dragged this to Dr. Java, and it looks like I'm editing this file here, and I'm not. And I can tell because this up here is not this folder here. Okay, this thing here is on a weird place in my hard drive. That's because I'm doing something wrong. I'm working in a zip file. Okay, you should never work in a zip file. It just causes all kinds of grief. What you need to do is you need to extract the zip file and then work in the folder. Now, watch when I start Dr. Java and I open this file in Dr. Java, you'll see something different. See, I'm on my desktop. See, this folder is on my desktop. When I open this file in Dr. Java says, oh, homework 1 in the homework folder on your desktop. If I go back to that zip file and I drag this to Dr. Java, I've got something really weird now. I'm actually editing a file that's in a temporary location somewhere hidden on my hard drive. If I did my whole homework assignment here, saved it and quit, and came back the next day, I wouldn't be able to find my homework assignment because it's not this file here in the zip file. This is a big mistake on Microsoft's part. They should not make zip files look like folders. Every year I have students lose their homework because they do their homework in the zip file. It's really being done on a temporary file hidden on their hard drive. When they close this, oh, actually, let me do it again. Save it, close it, reopen it. See, the save, see, when I change this and I save it, I'm not saving it to there. I'm saving it to someplace weird on my hard drive. But if I close this and come back the next day and open this, all my work is gone. And every year I have students who get all messed up by this. Don't work in zip files, okay? Whenever you download a zip file, unzip it and delete the zip file, okay? Unzip it and delete the zip file. Don't work in the zip file. Now, when you're ready to turn in your homework, I want to turn in this and I want to turn in these files. So what I do now is I right click on this folder and say, send to compressed folder, and Z Windows makes a new zip file. So you unzip it, do your homework, then rezip it. This is what you're going to send to me. But you have to put your name on this file. There's instructions on the website. We're running out of time, so we'll start with this on Wednesday and go back over these details on Wednesday. You'll download the homework zip file, unzip it, do your work in this folder. Then when you're done, you rezip it by going here to send to compressed zip file. After you've rezipped it, you'll put your name on this file. So it'll be homework 1 craft. Actually, I want you to make it CS 123 homework 1 craft. And then you'll submit this on Brightspace. And we'll do that again. We'll start with that on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we'll go back through the details of submitting the homework assignment. It's explained on the website. Okay, so on the homework page, see, it says turn in. Here's the explanation of how to turn it in. Okay, so again, the purpose of this homework assignment is just to get you make sure that you have Dr. Java working on your computer at home. Okay, so it's a homework exercise to get Dr. Java working. So it's not, you're not really solving a problem with Java. Your second homework assignment, you'll start solving a problem using Java. Here, you're not solving any problem. You're just, I want everybody to have Dr. Java and Java working on their computer as soon as possible. Okay, so we've run out of time, so it's time to quit. I'll have office hours this afternoon. If anybody wants to ask a question about office, about this stuff, and on Wednesday, when we meet again on Thursday, we'll go over the details of the first homework assignment, and we'll start talking about what's in the textbook. We'll start talking about what's in the reading assignment. There was a reading assignment for you to look at chapters 1 and 2 of the book. So we'll start on Thursday. We'll talk about what's in that reading assignment. Okay. So time to go. We've run over time a little bit. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm just going to end the meeting. And if you got questions, you can send me emails, and you can send me emails to ask a question, and you can stop by office hours. So we'll meet. Pardon me.
Hi, Professor.
Last question.
Can you show me how to review the recorded course in the link?
Oh, this link here after class will change to the recorded version.
In fact, I select your another course, programming language interpreter and compiler. I didn't find the recorded course.
Well, that class hasn't met yet.
Yes, I missed the class because of the different timing zone.
That class hasn't met yet. That class is
Well,
this afternoon.
yes.
So there's nothing, there hasn't been any recording of it yet.
Has not been recorded.
No, because the class hasn't met yet. It meets this afternoon.
Yes. I sent you the email, but you have not replied me. So I clicked this course to connect you.
Okay. I'll have to go look at my emails. I've gotten a lot of emails lately from people, but that class hasn't met yet. So we'll meet. That class will meet in another couple hours. So send me, if you have another question, yeah, send me an email again, or I haven't had a chance to look at my email yet today, but that you talk about the graduate class or the undergraduate class?
The graduate class.
Oh, okay. The graduate class. I thought I have two classes on interpreters in the class. One undergraduate. Okay, yeah. Send me an email if you have a question. I'll get that. I think that link is up there, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked it yet. Okay.
Okay. I sent you the email yesterday, but you have not replied me yet. So I called you this morning, and you are not at office.
No, nobody's at their office because of the pandemic. We're at home.
Okay.
Yeah, we're working from home because there's a okay. So I'm going to have to end this meeting because I have to go to another class now. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll communicate with you by email and we'll get this straightened out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end the class now. Okay. So I'm going to click end and see everybody again on Thursday. Bye.